Please make sure that you've practiced all of those flashcards, kindergarten. Take out your arm, shake it awake, shoulder, elbow, wrist, slide it down. Here we go. Ut, fut. Ch, ut, chut. Ch, it, chit. Ch, ill, chill. Ch, all, chawl. Sh, all, shawl. Sh, ock, shock. Sh, eck, sheck. Sh, x, shecks. Z, x, zex. Z, ax, zax. Z, add, zad. S-ad, sad. Good job, kindergarten. Would you please go and get out a piece of paper and a pencil and an eraser, and I'll see you back here. Kindergarten, would you please help me read this word right here? Let's take out our arms. Here we go. Ugh, rug. Well, what if I wanted to say that I have 2 rugs? Rugs. Ooh, do you hear that last sound at the end? Rugs. It kind of sounds like a Z, zzz, rugs. But we learned a long time ago that if we wanted to show that we have more than one of something, we don't add a Z to the end. Do you remember what we add to the end? We add an S to the end. Now, this may get a little tricky this week because this S is going to sound like it's making the Z sound. But we never, ever, ever add a Z to the end of the word when we're talking about more than one. If we're talking about 2 or more, we always add an S, even if it sounds like a Z sound. So let's read this word now with this S at the end. Ugh, rug, z, rugs. Let's see if we can do that with another one. I'm going to take the S away for now. Let's sound out this word. Ugh, hug. Well, let's turn it into hugs. Do you remember what we add? Not a Z, hugs. We always put an S. If we are writing and we are talking about more than one, we always put an S at the end. Ugh, hug, hugs, hugs. Let's see about that for this word. Let's sound out this one. Og, hog. Well, now I want to say hogs, hogs. So I'm going to add S at the end. Hogs, hogs. I know that it sounds like it's making the Z sound, but letter S is going to be making that sound. So we don't want to add a Z, we only want to add an S. Let's try one more. Here we go. Log, log. Well, if I said logs, what do I put? Not a Z, I put S at the end. Logs, logs. All right, kindergarten, you should have your piece of paper and your pencil and your eraser. Make sure that you have everything because we are going to practice writing our words and then adding S, even though it makes that Z sound at the end, to show for more than one, like this one, 2 logs. All right, kindergarten, we are going to take this nice and slow because I know that this can be confusing. We hear Z at the end, but we have to put S? What? So let's take it nice and slow, okay? Your first word, the only word I want you to write right now is bib. Just write the word bib. That's all I want you to do right now, okay? Pause the video and then come back when you're all done writing bib. Okay, so I wrote the word bib. Did you write the word bib? Okay, so now we're going to make it so that it's more than one. Instead of saying I have 1 bib, we're going to practice this little sentence in my head. There are 2 bibs, or I have 2 bibs. So we already have bib, so we need to make it say bibs, bibs. So what do we hear at the end? We hear that Z. I know we hear that Z, bibs. But do you remember what we put instead? We put an S at the end. An S. And then the same thing whenever you are reading kindergarten. Whenever you're reading a word that has S at the end, just cover up that S and then read the first few letters that you see. So if I cover up this S, I can read this word like this. B-ib, bib. So now I already know that that says bib. So now if I uncover the letter, it has S at the end. Bibs. Bibs. I don't say bibs. I say bibs. Bibs. I have 2 bibs. So it's going to take a lot of thinking, kindergarten, but I'm sure you can do it. That's why we're starting today. We're going to go nice and slowly. Okay, the next word that I want you to write is bell. That's all I want you to write. Write the word bell and then come back. Okay, so I have my word bell written right here. So I want to say I have 2 bells. Bells. I already wrote bell, and now I want to turn it into bells. Remember, we're not erasing anything because we need all of those sounds. Just like in the word bibs, I need all of those sounds. We don't ever want to erase anything and then put a new letter in there. We want as many sounds as we can get. So let's turn bell into bells. What are we going to put, kindergarten? We're going to put S at the end. Even though you hear that Z sound, you still put S at the end. Bells. All right, kindergarten, let's cover up that S and let's practice reading this word. So I'm going to cover up my S and I'm going to sound out this word. B-e-l. Bell. Uncover that S. Bells. 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 Remember, it's going to take some thinking until you hear it just right. Not bells. Bells. It all has to do with how we say things. Bells. Okay, kindergarten, here's your next one. Just write the word fin. Just fin, and then I'll see you when you're done. Okay, so we have the word fin. Now we want to make it so that we have more than one. We have 2 or 3 or 4. So that means we're going to say, I have 2 fins. Fins. I think you know by now what we need to put at the end. Fins. We put an S at the end, kindergarten. I know we hear that Z sound, so we think we should put a Z, but we really put an S. Fins. We put that S. All right, kindergarten, go ahead and cover up your S and let's practice reading it. Here we go. In. Fin. And then we uncover the S, and we already know that this part says fin, so now we just say the S sound at the end. Fins, fins, fins. I'm going to say it until it sounds right. Fins, fins, fins. I know that this S is making the Z sound. Okay, kindergarten, we have one more word for you to write. I think you're going to like this word. Please write ram. Just write ram. Okay, we have the word ram, and check it out. One of our sight words is in there, am. So we have ram. So now we're going to say we have 2 rams. Rams. Now make sure that you check it out. We're saying the Z sound, but what have we been writing this whole time? We need to put an S at the end. Rams. All right, let's cover up that S and let's read it now. Cover up your S and let's go through and read our word. Am. Ram. Uncover your S and now let's say the S sound at the end. Rams. Rams. And remember, say it until it sounds right. Rams. 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 I have 2 rams. All right, kindergarten. Now that we've practiced how to write our words, saying that we have 2 or more, using the S Even though we hear the Z sound, I have a sentence for you. So make sure that you grab your paper, either go down to the bottom or flip it over to the back side. If you need a new piece of paper, that's fine too. So grab a piece of paper, make sure that you have your pencil and your eraser because it's okay to make mistakes. And I'll tell you your sentence when you're all ready. Your sentence today is just a little tricky. Take your time on it, okay? And do your absolute best. Your sentence today is, Bess jogs up the hills. Bess jogs up the hills. Let's say it and see how many words are in our sentence. Bess jogs up the hills. Just 5 words today. I know because this is going to be tricky with that Z sound, that S at the end. So let's do it one more time and then go take your time and write. Here we go. Bess jogs up the hills. Take your time and I'll see you when you're done. All right, kindergarten, let's check our sentence now. I hope that you took your time. If you made mistakes, that's okay because we're going to check out the sentence. First things first, a sentence needs to start with an uppercase letter. Beautiful. Let's check for those finger spaces. Yep. Short sentence today, so we don't need too many finger spaces. Now, let's see if there's a period or a question mark at the end. I put a period at the end. Okay, let's read it just to make sure the words are in order, okay? Here we go. Bess jogs up the hills. My words are in order. All right, kindergarten, let's check out some of these words. I put a few mistakes in there. Can you find them? Ooh, kindergarten. First thing I want us to look at, though, is the word Bess. So Bess ends with the S sound. Do you remember F, F, L, L, S, S, Z, Z? If a word is talking about just one thing, just one item, then we need to have 2 of those letters at the end. F, F, L, L, S, S, Z, Z. So Bess, there's only one Bess, just Bess. So she has S at the end. Okay, let's check out my words that needed to be told if they were 2 or more, okay? So my first word I have is jogs. Jogs. Oh, I hear the Z at the end, kindergarten. Jogs. But I should not have that Z. Do you see the mistake I made? I put a Z at the end, and we know that we don't put a Z, we put an S at the end. Even though we hear the Z sound, we need to put an S. So I'm going to change that to an S. Okay, can you find the other one that I did? The other mistake I have that needs to be fixed? Here it is right here, kindergarten. Hills. Hills. Ooh, hills. I hear that I'm talking about more than one hill. I'm talking about 2 or 3 or 4 hills. And I put a Z at the end. But if I'm talking about something that is more than one, I don't put a Z. What do I put? An S. So I need to change this to an S. So kindergarten, because this is so new, it's okay to make mistakes. Absolutely. As long as we try and fix them. It's okay to make mistakes as long as we try and fix them once we know. So now that we know that we're not supposed to put Z's to show that we're talking about more than one thing, and we know we're supposed to put S's, if you put Z's in here for jogs or hills, I want you to erase those Z's and turn them into S's, okay? Don't worry, we're going to be doing this all week, so you don't have to be super, super good at this today. It's going to take time, kindergarten. You guys are doing a fantastic job. Thanks for sticking with me during this video, and I'm going to give you a warm fuzzy. All right, I'll see you guys in just a little bit.